Hello, yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, my hair is getting long. And yes, this is what I think of when I think long hair. My hair is always like a lot shorter than this. Anyway, um, so I have a few things I need to mention, and normally any sane person would have waited until morning. It's 2 a.m., 2:18 to be precise. But I have a few things I need to say before I forget and before I put it off any longer. Here's the thing. A. It is currently day 603 of Codename Conqueror's development. Yay, congratulations. Good job. Woohoo. I was going to say something on day 600, which was on Wednesday. Um, however, uh, didn't feel like it. There wasn't a whole lot that was needed to be said aside from, hey, day 600. And I was like, I can't just say day 600. Like a year, yes. 2 years, cool. But like if it's a day like 500, day 400, day 600, then like day 650, then I'd be like, it's good to look at. But if there's nothing eventful going on, I don't feel like the need to report it. So I didn't feel the need to report it for day 600. However, 3 days later, here we are. Um, always make sure you hydrate. So, why the update? Well, I'm going to keep mentioning this every single update video, but I can't remember what I said last update. So I'm just going to say what I think happened. Anyway, there's a lot of data that happens. Where did I leave off? Okay. So, okay. I had some beta testers testing my formatting on my app, right? And I realized I was very bad at it, and I don't know why. So what would look fine on my phone would look awful on somebody else's. Like everything would just be totally off. The formatting, the spacing, the everything. I'm like, yikes, this is trash. So I focused for a while on making sure, like learning how, I don't know how to word this, learning how to properly format it no matter what device is looking at it. I'm gonna be drinking a lot of water because it's hot in here, and for whatever reason, my roommate wants it at 75 degrees, and I'm burning. Anyway, so I spent a lot of time doing that, and I finally got it right. I finally understood the method on how you're supposed to program the formatting such that it is the same proportionality with respect to each other's components across all devices. That's fancy talk saying if it's supposed to take half the screen, it will always take half the screen. If it's supposed to be the same size as this other thing, it will always be the same size as this other thing. I didn't know how to do that, apparently. I thought I did. I thought I did it really well, and then I was very wrong. I revisit again for the upteenth time. I revisited um, the logic behind panning and zooming of Mr. Map, and I finally got it to a comfortable um, functionality. Comfortable feel. That's what I wanted to say. I forgot the word. So I can now pan and then put one finger on and zoom and take that finger off and pan again. It's nice. It feels comfortable. The only issue with Conqueror's map right now, there's two actually. A, infinite panning is still a thing. I know how to apply limits on panning, but for whatever reason, when I apply those limits, panning just turns off altogether, and I'm just like, why? I don't understand. And no matter how much research I did, it just seemed like it just never got solved. Two is the zoom reset. So if I zoom in on the map and I try to zoom in even further, it resets to the original position and then starts zooming again. So that's stupid. I don't know how to fix that. Well, I do, but I don't. I know how it's supposed to be fixed, and guess what? That doesn't work. Same thing with the infinite pan. So infinite pan and zoom reset are still two things that are wrong, but everything else is fine. So I could just go off the guise that that's intentional. Like, yeah, I meant to have it infinite pan, and I meant to have it zoom reset. Yeah, sure, go ahead. So unfortunate. Anyway, that's not really what I want to talk about. So formatting, everything is formatted well across all devices, so it should be the same no matter what device you're looking at it from. No matter what size phone you got, it should be proportionally the same. Everything works really well, and the map works really well. So what I did, I had fellow, I don't want to say fellow, I had lovely gentleman TO Superman Cact over here. I had him tweet out an announcement for me for collecting data. So I had told for a long time that I needed data for states PRs. I needed their state local information, like weeklies, and I needed their PR information for every subregion, for every season, for every state. You can see how that's a lot for one person to handle, especially when I don't know anything outside of Florida and New Hampshire. And I hardly know Florida as it is, considering there's 16 subregions. And some of them don't have PRs depending on the season. So the big question became, how do you organize this data if you may or may not have the data across many different states, across many different seasons? It's just like, oh my God. Um, so I had to get creative with it, and I got really smart with it. My solution is excellent. And then I came up with some other difficulties, and so I want to give this update on everything I was doing was I stopped doing functionality. I stopped doing um, I don't know how to describe it. I started doing hard data. Like I started just putting in the library, right? I have the library, I gotta put in some books. I gotta put in the scan thing where you like scan and be like, ah, your book is late, you know? Late fees, late fees, late fees, late fees. Okay, anyway. So I focus a lot on organizing the data. So, okay, CAC tweet, that's right. I'm sorry I'm jumping around everywhere, but it is 2 a.m. and I've been working on this all day, and I'm a little bit burnt out, and I just realized that, like, hey, I did a lot of progress. This is bothering me. Um, I had a lot of progress, and I was like, you know what, this is a really good time to have like a quick little update because I think I did a decent amount, or I don't think I did a decent amount so much as I did important things, right? So I'm just dancing around. I'm dancing around this one particular topic, and I'm excited to talk about it, but it's still I'm a little tired. Um, there's a lot of hoops I had to jump through. A lot of hoops. Cax sent out a tweet because I needed Cax help. I needed a TO, a well-known figurehead in the community, to collect some data for me because I am just one person and I'm not going to go to every single state, every single TO, every single Discord server and ask them personally, hey, give me your give me your information. No, I'm not going to do that. I have better things to do. So I'm going to outsource it to somebody who knows it better than me. That is Cact. Although Cact is also busy. So we had a compromise. Hey, how about let me just tweet this out and let the community do its thing. And I'm like, sounds like a plan. So he made a tweet saying like, hey, all the USTOs, fill out this Google form. And this Google form has 32 submissions. 32 is noticeably smaller than 50. So some of these states or regions are just going to have to get left out. That's not my problem. That is not my problem anymore. As soon as I outsourced it, it became someone else's problem. So now I can say, if your state or region is not included, it is not my fault. It is strictly yours or your TO's. If you have a TO in your region and they didn't fill it out, that's on them. I am just doing. I'm doing the best with what I have. You got to work with me. So, and I mentioned this because I'm just gonna, I'm gonna call you out. there's a player from Georgia who had the lovely submission of, as you can imagine, is pretty negative, of having some very awful things to say and just posting a bunch of meme pictures in the files for where the PR should go. I considered outing him or her, and I was like, I'm no, I don't have enough energy for this. So I just deleted the submission and then I just moved on. So I have 32 submissions. I got that a week ago. Guess how many I finished? 7. I finished 7 because apparently some regions have 16 local. That's an exaggeration. They have 8, but it was not easy. And it was not as if it's past tense. No, it's still very much present tense. It is not easy. Um, so what I've been doing is I'm sorry I'm elaborating and prolonging the whole thing, but I'm gonna try getting to the point. So I got a lot of data for states. I've been sifting through the data, plugging it all in, downloading the images for the PRs, putting it into the app, so et cetera, et cetera. Um, I did this and I got really bored really quickly. Because I am fine with data filling. I kind of have to. That is in the job description of being a programmer or coding. It's just you gotta do some hard coding every now and then. But this is just like painful. Like I have to. It's not just like coding, coding, coding. I have to like cross-reference the PR, the graphic, make sure the name is right, make sure the main is right. And I have to make sure it's exactly right. And then anyway, so I was like, you know what? I need to let my creative juices flow for a little bit. So I'm gonna stop data filling. I think I stopped at 3. I did 3 regions and I was like, I'm done. I ain't doing this. And I was like, you know what? You know what? What if I did something I didn't think I could do yet? And I just want to do it just because I feel like I need the logical challenge. I need to think about something. I really need to like be creative with it. So I'm gonna try to make Conqueror's search menu work, which is this thing right here, right? If I boop, I get it. There it is. So Conqueror's search menu. If you remember, this is peak Conqueror, by the way. Conqueror's original idea way back in the day was you can like see all the PR graphics and every like select by state and see what's up. Um, but can also search for players. Like if I want to look at Accelerate, you'll see Accelerate PR CFL in Florida for seasons quarter 4 2021, whatever the frick. Um, that's what you'll see. So if I'm going to a major like CEO 2022 coming up this June, by the way, um, if I'm going to a major, I want to look up the players in my pool and see if they're any good and if they're PR'd anywhere. Um, well, I'm like, that's one of the original goals of Conqueror. One of, if not the original goal of Conqueror. So I felt like this gave me a lot of motivation. Like, okay, if I can figure this out, I want to try to figure this out because I haven't even attempted to crack this puzzle yet. I just kind of left it for later Kevin to figure out. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna solve this today. I want to crack down on this because if I can get this Conqueror page working, I will gladly fill in the rest of the data. I will go through all 32 submissions of every single state, every single subregion, every single PR, every single local, and just like fill it all in, just so that I have the library, so that I can search it, so I can just be like at my own local, and when Conqueror's not released yet, I could just be like, hey, who's this player? Or I can give it to some TOs for beta testing so that they can help it, so it can help them with seeding. Um, I thought it would be really cool. I was like, you know what? I want to do this as soon as possible because it will give me the motivation to do everything else. So I focused on it, and it works. It works very well too. So The only problem it has is with every single search bar in the app so far is that it's case sensitive. So if I type the letter A, what I'd like it to do is search through all the tags that have the letter A, period, end of story. But it if I have uppercase A or lowercase a, it takes that into account and it filters out all the uppercase or lowercase a's. So if I have capital T, it'll filter out all the lowercase t's, and that's not what I want. I just want, if there's a T in there, I want to keep it. Simple as that. Anyway, I'll show you. So we go to search, I'm going to tap X, and there it is. And look how beautiful it looks. Hang on. There. Ooh. That is so perfect. That is so perfect. You can see all the You can see all the subregions that they're PR'd in. You can see their main. You can see their tag and the state that they're from. It's so beautiful. It's so perfect. It's uh, it's so good, man. I plan on right now it doesn't do anything. Right now it's just a list. You can just look at it. Eventually, I will. That's also one of the things I had to. I remember something else I needed to mention, but in a second. But just remember server data. I'm saying that now so I don't forget later. Anyway, you will be able to select a player. Like if I type X and I see a bunch of results, I can tap on any given player and it does something. I don't know yet. I don't know what yet it does, but it will do something. It will either take you to the state in which they are PR'd, or it will take you to that player's specific profile, in which case I have no idea what that's going to look like, or what it's going to like, what's going to do or have, or I don't know. Beats me. So I'll figure that out when I get there. But right now, it just looks pretty. Well, for now, I'm probably just gonna have it go to the state screen in which they're PR'd. Like, if it's me, it'll take you to Florida, so you can see the PR graphic for Florida and see me there. Anyway, that's my current idea. Whether or not it's gonna stay, who knows? Here's the thing. Conqueror search menu works, and it's literally amazing. I love it very much, and it makes me so happy. So I went back to the data, and I ran into some issues. Involving like mother regions. And by mother regions, I mean New England, Tri-State, MDVA, PNW, etc., etc. So there's regions, subregions, states that are all different. So you could have New England, Massachusetts. Let me get a better example. It's okay. Yeah, so there's MDVA, there's VA, and then there's let me look at Virginia. Yeah, so I think Virginia is a great example because you have the mother region of MDVA, you have the state of Virginia, and you have the subregion of Southern Virginia. For just one season, like that's just in one season. It's just there are four variables there for one location. I hurt so much. So, how do you organize a mother region? So my solution was just if it's part of a mother region, I included it in every subregion of that mother region. So in New England, there's a New England PR, there's an MDVA PR. If you're part of New England, it will show the New England PR underneath your state's PR for every single New England state. That's just the way I did it. That's the way I had to do it because the filtering method I used, the best filtering method to use, would end up with repeating results if you included the mother region along with everything else. So if I had a state's PR and the state is part of New England, so if I had the New England PR as well as the state PR, then they'd be part of the same. I don't know how else to explain this. You have to look at you have to look at the data and I have to explain it to you like super in depth for you to understand what I mean. But essentially, when this function parses the array, I have to make sure that it doesn't repeat any players. So if I have accelerate PR'd every single season, I don't want to have 6 results for accelerate for the 6 different seasons. No, I just want to have the one accelerate with every single every single season he was PR'd. And then I have to cross-reference. How do you tell what makes a player unique? Because there's a lot of players with the same tag. There's a lot of players of the same region. There's a lot of players of the same season. How do you do this? So I was like, okay, how about I distinguish this specifically based off of your region plus your tag, right? So specifically, it's the state's abbreviation plus your tag. So for accelerate, it would be FLXLR8 because FL is the abbreviation for Florida and accelerate is my tag. However, comma, there are sometimes players with the same tag in the same state. Conveniently enough, my tag. There's another accelerate in Florida. You see how this is a problem? The first player I thought of wasn't even myself. It was Leon. Leon the Bowser and Leon the European Lucina. There's also Javi. Javi on Earth and Javi, MKLeo's brother. There's also Ken, the Melee Marth player, Ken, the Japanese Sonic player. Those are the most famous examples, and I can assume there's a plethora of ones that we just don't know about yet. And then you have to account for what if a player has changed their tag? So there's a lot to keep track of. I had to write, like, not an algorithm, but I had to define a set of rules to define what makes a player unique and what makes a player the same player throughout. I have to talk about events because there's something along with the data server thing I have to talk about. I'm getting really hot. Along with the data server stuff, I have to talk about events first. So for every state, you have a list. Here's Florida. You have a list of all the local tournaments. These aren't the same as this. These are not the same. These are what I call series cards, and these are event cards. So this will tell you about the specific event in which you are looking at, and this will tell you... Hang on. I can't do this. There we go. And this will tell you the information about the series itself. So this is Vortex as a series, like the entire weekly series. And this is the particular Vortex tournament we are talking about. So this is supposed to be the information that people can go for and look at to find out the different locals in their scene. If I'm going to Florida, I want to find out all the Florida tournaments I can go to. Oh, there's this tournament on Wednesdays, this tournament on Sundays, this tournament on Saturdays, and then the appropriate contact information if available. Well, what went through my head is 2 things. A, for now, for demo purposes, I'm using the state data I got from the Google form. So that's what I've been filling out. A part of the 32 submissions, I've been filling out all of the local tournaments per state. Not divided by subregions because I do not want to hurt myself emotionally and physically. So it's all just there. So the PRs are separated by subregion, and the local tournaments are all just together in a line. Now, here's the problem. Locals aren't permanent. There can be a tournament series today that just doesn't exist tomorrow. and vice versa. It cannot exist today, and then it starts up tomorrow. Things change. So, what I'm planning on doing is, for now, while I'm still in development, I use that to correct my neck, I'm sorry. I have to work on my posture a little bit. While I'm still developing, everything here is going to be hard-coded. Almost everything here is hard-coded. The players, the subregions, the PRs, and the local tournaments. All hard-coded. Because if everything's on Smash GG, I can't exactly make any tournament series for these locals. That's extremely too much effort. Especially considering that I don't even have that foundation set up yet, which is going to take another long time. So, I'm hard coding all these values based on the information I got. And then I'm going to later apply I'm going to, instead of having these all hard-coded event series, this is all going to pull from a server. So I'm sure I already told you that in the future I plan on having series as a feature for full bracket creation or full event creation, so that TOs can very easily just make another event along with the same series. So if I have a Xanadu, right? Actually, let's go CEO just for hoops and giggles. Say CEO is a weekly. I have a CEO tournament every single Saturday. It would be very cool and very efficient if I could just be like, create tournament, same series as CEO, enter. Copies all the same rules, all the same bracket setup, all the same registration details, etc., etc. And I can change whatever I want, or I can keep it all the same, and you're done. And it increments the tally by 1. So CEO weekly number 9, CEO weekly number 10, and everything else is copied. Wouldn't that be so simple? Now, my plan, that's the series functionality I'm planning for full event creation. It'll be very cool, and the plan is these tournaments per state will pull from that data. So it will say, okay, server, what are all the events what are all the series for the state of Florida? And give me that list and put the list here. And if an event does not have a tournament or a new event within a month, then it will be removed from the list, which will help get rid of inactive tournaments. Because if it's a weekly and it's been gone for a month, it's inactive. It's no longer there. If you have a new series, so long as it has a single tournament or 2 tournaments within a month of each other, then it will be here. But that's what I plan on doing to make it so that I don't even have to touch it. I don't have to hard code anything. You just have it there. You just have the series in the server, and it will exist here. And then, if a player selects it here, right now it doesn't do anything if I do it because the obvious reasons. So that if they select it here, like, oh, Vortex Smash Weekly happens on Wednesdays. Let me check that out. And it'll take me to the series page, and I could be like, ah, very cool. Now, that's that. Next up, PRs. I want to do the same for PRs. I don't know how I'm going to do that in the future, because that kind of stuff is outside of my forte in terms of true skill. Oh, I'm on a few PR panels, but I don't exactly know the algorithms that are behind true skill and cue ball. If you guys don't know what that is, figure it out. Not my job to explain it right now. What I'd like to do is have this. I'm sorry, I'm always putting it over here. It has this as automated as possible. As automated as possible. And then it'll automatically, there's so much to wrap around. Okay, quick synopsis. Okay, every user account will be tied to the player that played in that tournament. So if I'm a TO from a region, I'll be able to select the tournaments that count for the PR in a given time frame and be like, okay, these 10 events are all PR events. give me a PR of top 10 players, and it'll give you based on their results, based on their wins and like win ratios or whatever. It will give you your PR 10. I can even automated have an automated PR graphic. So if you don't look on Twitter, there's a top 8 graphic that is very common for tournaments that don't want to put in any effort on making their custom graphic. So there's a very common graphic out there for top 8s. I can do the same thing for top 10s for top 10 PRs. And it won't be very difficult. It'll take whatever tournaments you have in a given time frame in a given season. It'll determine the top 10 players. It'll place those players on the like template for the PR graphic and their associated mains. Okay. It'll link those names to the appropriate accounts that got those results from those tournaments, and then it'll post it right here. And that's the plan. So everything will be automated. Everything. All a TO would have to do is by, I don't know, a deadline or something, be like, hey, it is now fall, so let's do the PR for summer. And then you just do it, and it's done. It seems pretty straightforward in my head, and I know a lot of ways I could do it. I just have to get there, and getting there is going to be a long time away because I have a lot of steps before that. But I'm excited to be excited to know that that is in my plans, so that nobody really has to worry about. I want to say no one has to worry about making a PR or worrying about it, but then you have to account for panels. But panels are easily solved by simply having the PR alterable, like changeable, malleable, if you will, after the algorithm determines the top 10. So algorithm determines top 10 players, but boom. And then it says, like, would you like to confirm or something? And then you can switch around whichever ones you think based on the panel. Like, that's what the panel can do. The TOs involved can take that list and be like, okay, this is what they said. This is what the algorithm said. But I think it's these guys are switched. You switch them, you hit confirm, you're all set. And then boom, it's done. You can insert a custom graphic if you want, or it goes back default to a template. It's so simple. It's so easy. I don't know why anyone else hasn't done this. So like my mind right now, I'm firing off ideas, and it's so simple in my head. It's so simple. This will all be automated, all of it. It'll be so easy. It'll be so easy. You just have to have somebody with the know-how and the determination to make it happen, and that's me. That's me right there. Okay. So that's why I had a lot to talk about, because I set up a lot of the foundation for Conqueror moving forward, and I needed to let everybody know that this is all quote-unquote temporary. This is temporary hard-coded values, and in the future, it won't actually be so tedious as for one guy typing away about all the results and importing images and all that. No, that won't happen. That is not how it's going to be. It is in fact going to be automated, and I just have to find out the specific way in which I'm going to automate it in the future, which isn't going to be that difficult because I just figured it out in the past 10 minutes I was thinking about it. In theory, not that difficult. And if you can think about it in your head, a computer can do the same. That is one of the things I've learned as a programmer or into coding in general. If I am ever stuck on a problem, if I can think of how I would do it, I just have the computer think the same way, and it just works. I love coding, man. I guess I just think like a computer a lot. I've been told I think like a computer a lot. So that is that. That is my whole spiel on what I've been doing so far. I've just been hardcore data filling. I want to continue doing my losers set data and create set card function, which means nothing to you guys because you guys aren't involved in the development process. But for me, it means a lot. Um, for every 60 possible combinations of bracket, from 4 players to 64 players, that's 60 combinations. I have to make sure that the set cards are created properly and all the placeholders are set properly. And I only have to do the loser's placeholders next. So when a set says winner of set blank versus the loser of set blank, the loser part is what I have to do. Everything else is fine. I've been talking a lot, I'm sorry. Also, in other news, as of 2 days ago, technically, it's past midnight, I am now a Smash Ultimate coach on Metafy. That is correct. I have put in a lot of effort in my competitor skills, my commentator skills, and my coaching skills. I am not just some scrub in the community. I know a lot of what I'm doing in various aspects, in various facets. I am a programmer, a coach, a commentator, and a competitor. All of the above simultaneously. Sorry, my nose itches. I don't know why it itches. It just does. And the work is not over yet. I start a new job on Monday because I need money for rent. And although I would love to continue doing this for my whole job, I can't, and I need money. So I'm starting a job on Monday. So, going forward, I don't know how productive I'm going to be with the app. I just don't. And that is okay because I did a lot with what time I had. I was very productive with it, but it can't last forever. I still need money and I still need a job. I am very thankful for having Metafy, so please check out my Metafy. I'm very thankful for having the opportunity to coach Smash Brothers for money. However, let's be real here, I'm not a very popular person. I'm not a clout chaser, and I'm not controversial on the internet. So hardly anybody knows me except for the people who know me. And I don't know how else to say it, but besides saying it like that. So, I don't think I'm going to get a lot of lessons via Metafy. I hope I do. That'd be very nice. But I don't think I will. Which means I'm going to spend a lot of my time working with an actual job to get money every week. A consistent income, which will mean even less time is going to go for Conqueror. Which is sad. Very sad for me. But the good news is, with the way things are developing, I don't think it'll matter too much. I know this sounds weird, but a lot of my time is spent thinking anyway. So I spend a lot of my time thinking about the app rather than actually coding the app. Because I hit brick walls, except for hardcore data filling, like what I am doing now with state data. That's one of the few exceptions of just looking at the data, filling in lines of code. That doesn't happen often. Not often at all. There's quite literally like 3 files. There's 3 classifications of files that I need to hard code, and that's it. And everything else is just theory crafting, brainstorming, and trial and error, and like testing. So I hope that while I'm working, I can just think about the app and work on the app in my head, which I've done before when I worked at McDonald's. I'll just do it again. I do worry that my progress will be slowed because I'll be working a job. But I'm a very productive person, and my work ethic is very high when I want to do something. So I'm sure I'll find many, not excuses, but I'll find many ways to get around that. I am determined to get this app out and released by the end of May. That is my goal. It is almost the end of March. That was the perfect case scenario, and of course it's not going to get there. End of April is more likely, but still not very likely, unless everything goes really well. And end of May is where things can get looking pretty well. So, I'm ranting a lot. There's a lot of just not information in here. I'm sorry. There's a lot of just me rambling about different things and data, and I shouldn't be doing these things at 2 a.m., man. Oh, sorry, 3 a.m. Okay, I've been doing this for too long. Okay, it's been 40 minutes right now. Um, dang, I found my phone. I don't want to say I'm stressed, but I'm just anxious. Like, a lot of change is happening this week. New things happening. New good things. Don't get me wrong, they're all really good things. New job, new Medify, progress with the app, new locals. Good, 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 good. However, I have to make sure I don't lose my head. And that's where I'm not particularly efficient. Yeah, I tend to talk to myself a lot. I guess this is a good outlet to talk to myself when I'm not technically talking to myself. Assuming I do in fact publish these videos, because otherwise I am in fact talking to myself. Oh, that reminds me, I need to publish these videos on YouTube sooner than later, on the off chance I need to have them on record as saying they're submitted at a particular time. I sure hope so. Again, that probably doesn't mean anything to you, but in terms of copyright, when I made the video and when I published the video could be very different things, or they are different things, but they could have different important significance in a court of law in terms of copyright or trademarking. I don't know. I also have to commission a logo maker, a logo graphic designer for Conqueror's logo, and I still have no idea what Conqueror's logo is going to be. Well, I have a good idea, but I thought the graphic designer I'm trying to commission said that he doesn't think it's a good idea, and I'm like, but I don't have a choice. I think I'm losing my head. I think I'm just losing my head because I've been filling data for a day and a half straight. And I finished 7. I have finished only 7 of 32. And these freaking regions are so big. Which, granted, I'm glad they're big. I'm glad the scene is bigger. I'm glad the scene is getting awesome. However, Pennsylvania. Why does Pennsylvania have 4 graphics per season? That's 4 subregions per season. Every season. They're part of Tri-State. And how many locals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they have 8 locals. Why? I'm just... I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I want to go back to doing the creative stuff again. I want to go back to making the search function work, but it already works. What a problem to have. I'm going insane. Um, this better be worth it, man. People better like this. I am very tired of this. I don't. Maybe I need a break, but no, I already took a break. I am going to attribute a lot of this to this being at 3 a.m. But you're seeing Kevin literally melt down and like in front of your eyes, and I was so composed in just 40 minutes ago. I am losing my mind. Because I just every time I think about putting more data in, I'm just like I don't want to. This is the most boring part. That's the reason why I'm not a content creator, is because editing is so freaking boring. I love content creation. I love streaming on Twitch and I love being a YouTuber. Like in terms of making the content, like streaming and whatnot, making the video, doing the thing, playing the video game. However, editing the video for people to watch it and making the thumbnail, that's so boring. That's so boring. And I'm not going to do it. But you have to do it. So this is one of those things where I don't want to put in all this data. I want to just have somebody else do it for me. But, there's so many things wrong with that. A, I don't trust anybody else to do it. B, I don't know anybody else who I could even turn to do that. And C, I don't even know a third one. I need some ice cream, man. I just need some ice cream. I feel like if I had a nice ice cream sandwich right now, I'd be so happy. If someone just gave me an ice cream sandwich. I love ice cream sandwiches. I'm such a simple guy. I like vanilla ice cream. Okay. So my goal going for okay. We're gonna wrap this up. Going forward, the goal is to finish all hard coding data. All the states I have data for. All of it gone, done. 32 submissions, all of it done. Losers set data placeholder. I almost said placeholder. Placeholder because freaking data and data, that's why. The losers set data placeholders. Create set card function. The remaining 32 set cards. I have 3 facets. I have 3 facets. Categories of hard data filling I gotta fill out. I want to do that as soon as possible. But it's so boring. I'd have to commit, like, I'd have to actually get myself a bunch of ice cream. And it's really like, oh, we're gonna grind it out. Every time you get a state done, you have an ice cream sandwich. Every time you get a state done, you get an ice cream sandwich. I'm gonna have to do that. Because I can't see myself getting out of this. I made a list. I almost forgot. I made a list. Let me see this list. Of, where the frick is it? Everything I needed to do before the release of Conqueror. And it's a big list. Where is it? There's a lot of this stuff that's outdated. So in the past few days, I knocked out 5, 6, 7? 7 things on this list. Guess how many are left? 3 times that amount. I have like 21 things left. Yikes. Granted, some of these are small, actually. But some of these are extremely big. I'm in a slump. I am demotivated. I don't want to do this anymore. Why am I here? How this happen? How did I get here? How did I get in this spot? But I gotta do it. I just gotta. Cause A, nobody else will. B, I wanna do my part for the community. And C, I feel like I'm the only one who can. Nobody else will, and I'm the only one who can. So I gotta do it. But man, not having help sucks. I can't wait for this app to pop off. Everybody loves it. I get paid, and I can hire people to do some of my dirty work, like being a social media manager. Like I don't want to do that. I am not going to do that. I do not have the skill set required to be internet funny man, let alone internet funny man relatable to other esports competitors and potential demographic clients. Um, I'm just a guy who programs. That's it. What do I do? I want to just turn this into like a talking podcast type thing. I just want to talk about whatever comes into my head. But I gotta keep these things on point. I've been ranting for 48 minutes, and the past 18 minutes weren't even all that insightful. I knew I wanted to wrap this up real nice and pretty with a bow, but god dang, I just don't stop talking. I can't imagine anybody ever listens to me. I can't. I'm not that insightful. I am not that impressive. I am not that exciting. Um, if you're watching, if you're watching this way through, I want you to just type love in the chat. In the chat, in the comment section, and a DM. I don't care. Type love. I'll know what it means. Again, I just don't feel like people actually watch. I don't feel like people are going to watch this, but I'm setting us up for success. Ah, I remember that. I remember saying that last update video. I'm just a broken record at this point. I'm just saying the same thing over and over. I forgot I said that. I just remembered that. I'm saying the exact same thing. I'm pretty sure the word was different though. You know what? Check out my Medify page. Medify.gg/accelerate. Or technically it's /@accelerate. Which I'm hopefully going to be joining their development team on their mobile app as well. Because I don't want to say yikes, but yikes. I have a lot of good ideas I can help them out with, and they have a lot of good ideas that they can help me out with. So, great. I got nothing else. Posture. Always posture. Always posture. Let's take a deep, calm breath. There's a lot of work ahead of me, but that's hardly new. A wise man once said, "How you do anything is how you do everything." It all matters. It's all significant. I am looking forward to the day I can show everybody how I do things. I just hope it's good enough. I hope it's good enough to warrant me working on it for this amount of time. Because if people are disappointed, if I make errors, if I make a mistake, then people are going to be like, you should have held it and developed it even longer. And I don't think I can take that. I don't think I can take that. If somebody says you made a mistake, if somebody says this could have been better, this should have been better, then I will feel very bad. I will feel awful because of how much time I worked on it specifically so people wouldn't say that. That's like the ultimate goal. Like, don't get me wrong, negative feedback is very appreciated because it helps me grow. If somebody says this sucks, I want to know that it sucks so that I can make it better. But I'm trying my hardest to ensure that there is no negative feedback whatsoever. Which is kind of a catch-22. I'm not going to be perfect. This app is not going to be perfect. In fact, it's going to be deliberately not perfect because I have to do that. Because that's part of the plan. But I just hope people like it. I put in too much effort to have people just not like it. My worry, my fear is honestly if it turns out like my Medify. I make an announcement saying it's done. I'm on Medify and I get no bookings for X period of time. Right now it's been a day. Well, 12-ish hours. So I know I'm complaining about, or I'm not complaining, I'm worrying about 12 hours, the first 12 hours of having my Medify page open and worrying about, oh my god, I have no bookings, but it'll come in time. My worry is that I will release Conqueror and nobody will talk about it, and nobody will download it, and nobody would pay attention. And I'll just be stuck in the dust. Like, what was all the effort for? If nobody likes it, nobody uses it, what's the point? I'll be so sad. I would be so sad. Like my entire effort gone. I don't think I would be able to handle that feeling. I really don't, because I'm trying to like visualize it myself where I'd be in that situation. Like if I'm looking on Twitter constantly seeing people trying to retweet it, like it, and I just see my notifications at 0, or my message is empty, and I'll just be like, I hope that doesn't happen. It can't happen. This has been Kevin Accelerate behind the scenes. What I act, look, and sound like when I'm extremely anxious. I feel like not many people see me like this because um, I'm more reserved in public. I'm in the comfort of my own room talking to a camera. And I don't even know if this video will actually get out. Because if my app doesn't get published, this video is probably not going to get out. But I've been extremely anxious as of late. It is March 19th and I've been extremely anxious. I'm a little surprised my hair isn't falling out. I am keeping myself together purely on a combination of willpower, determination, and just hardcore mentality. I'm sure my roommate will attest that he's actually right there. The light. Um I listen to a lot of the motivational. The YouTube channel is called Absolute Motivation if you've ever heard of it. And I listen to a lot of like the power of mentality kind of stuff. I just can't shake the feeling that something bad's gonna happen. And I want to like over prepare myself as much as possible for that bad event to happen so I can handle it properly. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Anyway. Anyway, moving on. App, progress being made, stuff to be done soon, eventually, gonna happen. Yeah. It's been almost an hour of me ranting, but I just needed to get this out of there. Uh, I just needed to talk about this. There's so much I just want to talk about, and I have nobody to talk about it with. There's so much. The struggles I go through, the solutions I find, the problems I face, challenges I overcome. Every single one. I want to just express it to somebody, but there's nobody out there to listen. And I've tried. I've tried venting to somebody, or I've tried just like talking about it with somebody, and it has been met. I think I talked about this last time. It has been met with not the greatest responses, um, which has conditioned me to not talk about it as often, or not talk about it with those same people. So I'm running out of people to talk about it with, and I'm just running out of like reasons that I should look for people to talk about it with. So I'm like grasping at straws, and I don't want to just keep this inside. I want to talk to it with somebody, but nobody understands. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Please make sure you stay hydrated. I have to get more water. It is now 3:16. I'm probably just gonna go to bed because I was planning on doing. I just finished the remainder of Pennsylvania, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just do the update video. And now that I'm done, I just want to spend tomorrow chilling. Like I just don't want to. Quite honestly, I want to take a break from the app, but I don't want to take a break until I'm done with the data. At least that like one major step. Like I just want to finish that major step, and I want to take a break because I clearly feel burnt out. But I haven't been burnt out in nearly like 200 days, and I don't want to end this streak. It's got to get done. Conqueror has got to get done. If it doesn't get done soon, it might not get done at all, and I can't have that happen. I can't afford to have that happen. I hope y'all have a fantastic day. I'm going to stop before it reaches an hour in 37 seconds. Until next time.